Hey everybody, my next guest is an actor, comic, and producer who has been living in New York City for over 30 years and now is a huge supporter of our new mayor, Mamdani, and even has leading the MAGA for Mamdani cause, and he's very passionate about. Here he is, the one and only Ron Barba. Ron, what's up, man?
Hey everybody, Don Sill land. Love Don Sill. Always a fan of Don Sill. How are
Right
you, buddy?
on.
I'm great. I'm in Florida. Look. I got shorts. I got my t-shirt and a hat. I mean, that's where I am right now.
You're
So
living the
you know
life,
I'm
dude.
doing just fine. How you doing, buddy?
Good. It's a good
Oh,
time.
buddy, nice.
Yeah.
My parents have a place here. Good, man. Good. No, my parents have been coming since 1979. So this is like a thing. Every winter I come down for a couple weeks. They're here.
Nice.
They're snowbirds.
Nice. There you go. That's the life, man. I always wanted to
It's
snowbird.
nice.
Yeah. I always wanted to do
It's
that because
nice.
you see, you could miss the winters. You miss all the snow and all that stuff. And I'm not a snow guy. I can't stand it.
That's the one thing that I actually like about the winter is the snow. It's the other stuff I hate, but the snow is the only thing I like. But you're right, a lot of people hate the snow.
Yes, indeed. I'd rather
Mhm.
be right with you right now in Florida, hanging out, my shorts
Yes,
on.
that's our
Uh,
next podcast. Our next podcast is you're right here next to
there
me in the
you
palm
go.
trees. And I don't know if you can see the boats behind me. I'm trying to the reason there's an intercoastal here. I'm hoping boats go by, so that brings up the production value of this interview.
There you go. I'm hoping a boat comes by. That'd be awesome.
Let me
Uh,
know.
yeah, man. But dude, we're living in it's crazy times we're living in.
Yes,
Every
sir.
day you never know what's going to happen next in the
Mm,
world,
that's
and
right. That's right.
every day we see something different, and now here we
Mhm.
have you ever thought you'd see the day when there was a socialist running New York City?
I mean, did I see it? Absolutely, I saw it. I mean, to me, it makes total sense to me. The costs of everything are ridiculous, and the people, you make promises. Like politicians make promises. This guy's the greatest promiser of all time. We'll see if he's able to deliver on a lot of these things. But man, did he sound good when he promised them. So yeah, I can totally see a socialist. Let's see. Let's just see how the people evolve around the things that he wants to do to actually, you know, communicate this socialism with actual real policies. Let's see, ever the free buses and the rent, and the only thing freezing right now are you guys up there. There's no rent being freezed, and I heard the buses are still the same, and apparently and I know the subway rate it went to $3.
Yeah,
But I
so
said, I said it went up to $3 because how do you think they're going to pay for the free buses?
right, exactly. He's got to find the money somehow. But
Exactly.
but like you say about Mandami is that he is such an eloquent speaker when he talks, and he's the
Yep.
kind of guy that could talk you into anything. Do you feel like you got kind of
Yep.
seduced by his charms?
100%, 100%. And it was the beauty of all the beauty of all people is when you don't expect anything and they do that. I wasn't
Right.
expecting. I didn't even know who the guy was until he won. And then when I was like, all right, well, let me see why this guy beat Cuomo in the preliminary. And then I listened to him and I was like, wow, this guy's good. This
Yeah.
guy's really good. And then as I got to know more, I'm like, this guy's better than everybody. This guy's better than, dare I say, this guy.
As
I'm
a
saying
speaker?
he's even better. Well, he's way better because
Yeah.
Trump is way funnier. Is way funnier. So
Right.
you as comics, this is what we know. Trump is hilarious,
Right. Yeah.
but as a populist and speaking to people, oh, this kid, nobody better than Zoran. Nobody and
Yeah.
nobody on the left.
I,
Nobody
I
on the
tend to
left.
agree with you on that. He is a very eloquent speaker where he can talk you his charms and
Hmm.
like he could talk. I feel like could talk you into anything, right?
Oh, he
But
can.
and when you look at who they put up against him, I feel like they stacked the deck in his favor. Like they put a bunch of guys that nobody wanted.
I said the same thing. I was like, when the people start going like, "How could you be Mandani?" Like, first the thing is like, you can't be MAGA and be Mandani. I'm like, well, did you see who Mandani was going against? Even though I love Sliwa and I love him as a New Yorker, I just
Right.
knew he couldn't win. I knew his history, and
Right.
there was he just didn't have that thing that you needed. I just never felt it, so I wasn't going to vote for him. And I did like Mamdani to a degree, and I was like, well, he's definitely going to win this guy, and I certainly want him to beat Cuomo. I can't stand
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
COVID. After COVID, no way. And
Right.
so I was like, I don't want to see that guy's face ever again. And so it's like you said, it was pretty easy for me to choose Mamdani. Now the whole twist was the MAGA for Mamdani, and that's what set me off. That's why this morning, I wake up and the Japanese newspaper Asahi Shimbun just did my feature article. It's for 3.5 million subscribers in Tokyo are reading about me today. I don't know if there's that many reading about me,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
there's a featured article about this MAGA for Mamdani.
MAGA for Mandami. This is
It's,
like getting the
it's
peanut butter
simple.
and the chocolate.
That's exactly right, Don. That's exactly what it is. So two great. These are the two greatest things since peanut butter and chocolate came together.
What was the epiphany that, because you've always been kind of a MAGA
It's great.
guy for
Oh
as
my
long as
God.
I've seen your
Certainly.
posts, and
I've
when did you get
always
the
loved Trump.
spark? Yeah. When did
It
that
was,
happen?
that's a great question. I remember exactly. I was heading to a movie shoot in Staten Island for a movie I did this summer called Bonzo Gonzo. And I just was going, I'm like, oh, the election's coming up. And I like this guy, Mandani. And I said, wait, I'm MAGA for Mandani. I just literally, it probably just came to my brain like that. And so I have a friend in Queens. His name is Horace. I'm now allowed to say his name on interviews. Before he's like,
Right.
no one wanted to be attached with anything that I did social media wise for a
Right.
while. Now they're like, go ahead, put me in. I love it. Go ahead.
Now
And
it's
so
blowing up. Yeah.
I called him in Queens and I said, hey, buddy, what do you think of them? Can you make me a couple MAGA from Mamdani shirts and hats? And he's like, that's hilarious. Let's try them. The first thing I was going to do, and someone reminded me of this, I was going to do, the shirt was going to say, I'm a commie for Mamdani. That's it. Because saying, I don't care. These are commie. I still like them.
Right.
But we both like the MAGA for Mamdani. It said so much more. And that was, thank God, that was the home run because since then, after that epiphany over the summer, he made a couple of these. I went to by accident, I went to the Zoran. I mean, I wanted to go to this, but the Zoran Mamdani rally in Queens, I was informed of the night before that was going on. And that's when I when I went to his rally and I was wearing this. And then it was 10 million views the next day or 3 days later, 10 million views, all the interviews, MAGA for Mamdani. What is this MAGA for Mamdani? It's just hilarious. And tonight I'm going to try to do my first ever stand up mixing this in. I'm going to actually go up as the MAGA for Mamdani guy. I'm not going up as Ron Barba anymore. That guy's dead. You never knew him in stand up, but a lot of people knew the MAGA for Mamdani guy. So we'll see. We'll see how the jokes go. I mean, we're in Florida now, so they're not loving Mamdani down here. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Yeah. You're in DeSantis country now. That's
Yep, and I love DeSantis. See, I'm a problem because I love all these people. It's like
yeah.
I don't give a f what your politics are. If I like you, I like you. If I don't like you, I don't like you.
Right. And
But
I think like when you listen to Mamdami talk and stuff like that, and you hear the solutions, and he starts to, he has a way with words and all that stuff, and you start
yep,
to go, you know what? I think this sounds like a utopia. It sounds like it could be pretty awesome.
that's right.
Like,
Very Bernie esque.
yeah.
It's got a Bernie sprinkles on it. We're gonna take from all the rich and give it to all the poor. He's like Robin Hood. He's like, yeah, really? Let me see you do that.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for, but you also kind of, like you said, you foresaw into the future because
Yeah.
Trump and Mamdani text twice a week and they're good.
Yep.
They become friends. Trump praised them
That
in the White House.
Great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people.
that was great because once I grabbed onto this and held onto this, the attacks have really, and they still do, come from MAGA side, less from Mamdani. Although I've gotten plenty of Mamdani attacks. But when Trump and they met, and I had no idea they were going to meet so soon. I didn't know that's the protocol.
Yeah,
That meeting went on, and it was like the dogs were held back. They were like, okay, enough. And so
right.
the attacks became less and less. And thank God. I mean, it's not thank God. It's just been less people insulting me and insulting, just what it could have been. It was really bad. And then once they were all friendly, I'm like, oh, this is nice. And then my popularity went up even more. The videos I had went crazy. People were online going, "Who are you? What have you done? Where did you come up with this? How did you see the future?" And there was some futuristic, but not that much. It was more that I do believe in Zoran's talent, and we already know Trump's talent. He's already established. And
Right.
so even attaching the name MAGA, you attach the name MAGA to anything, it's like money. But
Right.
the real gist of this is that I'm not MAGA and I'm not Mamdani. I'm MAGA for Mamdani. So therefore, I encapsulate both sides and I appreciate both sides. And I realize that this country is made up of people with very different opinions on what needs to be done. And I want to bring them closer together and hopefully not get killed doing it.
Now you say you got in the beginning, especially you got some resistance, some pushback, especially
Ooh,
from MAGAs, and probably from the other side as well.
certainly.
What's it like when you hit the streets and you're rocking this gear, especially before the election happened, before Mandami won it, when it was still everything was brewing? What was it like, man? Was there ever any scary times?
There were no scary times, but there was like a seeming. I went to a party and there was a Jewish guy there who I really liked and who really liked me, but he did not like that I was MAGA for Mamdani, and he almost insinuated that something bad is going to happen to me if Mamdani wins. And I go, well, guess what? I'm going to tell you before this happens, Mamdani's going to win. So I guess something bad. So even and again, we were drinking that night. Maybe he didn't mean it so much, but the passion of hatred is immense. And it doesn't matter what side they're on. I don't care if it's a MAGA or a Mamdani. The passion of the people in this country is so high and negative and hateful to the point of violence. Well, thank God there's not that much violence in it. That I see that, that's the main issue going forward is how we have to change that. And I've had to feel it. Thankfully, I hadn't to feel it physically. I've just felt it in insults and nastiness, which is fine. That I could take. I mean, they're comedians. We could take a lot
Right, you got thick
of the
skin.
mental, of the psychological stuff. There's still abuse, and the worst is obviously from people that you love, people that you don't like. You could care less about. You really like F you. I don't know you, but if it's
Right.
someone that likes you starting to do it, you know, it's a little bit sad when they don't. It's okay to dislike and to disagree, and I love the disagreements. I actually feel like that's the best because that's when we start to find truth. When we start discussing what it is that we believe in, we start going, oh, maybe I'm not 100% right about this, and maybe they're right about this. And I think we start to learn a lot more. But once it gets ugly and insulting and violent, obviously violent, I think that's where we go off the rails and we don't become a civilized people anymore. And I hear a motorboat behind me, so
Oh,
I just
nice.
want to
Here we
wait.
go.
So no, or
Production
maybe
value.
that could be production value, but now it sounds like a lawnmower.
Oh.
It's probably an illegal. It's probably an illegal. Here we
but,
go.
but
Yes, sorry.
where's ice? No, I was kidding.
Hey, there you go. They're not in Florida yet, right? I mean, this is Trump country. Mar-a-Lago's right up here. This is my MAGA for Mamdani to Miami tour.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I gotta get down to Miami.
But it's weird because, like you said, hatred is such a passionate emotion,
Yep.
and people are blind with hate, and like they hate no matter what. So, like, they
Yeah.
pick a team, and then so the mega people might feel betrayed. The Mandami people might be afraid of that you're MAGA.
Right. They hate MAGA. They
So
hate MAGA.
yeah, if they hate
They
MAGA.
hate MAGA. So like, how could you be MAGA? So you literally are getting two different opinions. Like, why are you? Why are you? And but this is what it is. This is what it's like to be a day in the life of MAGA from Mamdani.
Yeah,
And you have to live with that.
they always talk about people being brave. Like, he's so brave. This is brave because you are on your own island almost.
It's funny. You do feel that way. You do feel that way a little bit with the bravery thing. But there's something so beautiful about it too, because there's so many people that understand it and really enjoy it. There's actually that side too. So it's a very bizarre place to be. It's like you can't have that risk without reward. You can't have the reward without the risk. And it's a fun place. I like it. It's like, but you asked before, your question, you go, when you're wearing this around, I'm not wearing this around 24/7. I'm not that MAGA from Mamdani guy. Okay. But, but like tonight when I go and perform, I'm going to wear it, see how that, because it does get a response. It's certainly an icebreaker. It's, you want to get the conversation going, just get these hats and shirts. You can buy them today. The MAGA from Mamdani shirts. Good luck getting them. No one, so few people buy them because of that exact reason. It's the nature of the polarization. People are like, I can't get that. And then let me see you wear one and get ready for the conversations that I've been listening to.
I want to
That
get
I'm
one
no
just for
protect.
that. Yeah, I want to try it out.
There was
because I think it's important in a way what you're doing. You're bridging the gaps.
exactly, buddy. It's in the weirdest way. It's bringing us together in a slow way. I always say that when I respond to everybody, I'm always like, "We're coming together. We're coming together." See,
Right.
it's a psychological thing that you need to keep saying that we're coming together. We're coming, even if we're not 100%. Even if we're not 100%, you still need to have that belief to push it forward, because you'd be amazed. It's just psychologically when you talk about stuff like we'll come together, let's work together, how people cool out and they start actually thinking that way. So there's
I
a
got
lot
to
of
admit,
psychological, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say I got to admit that when I saw in the beginnings, I follow you on Facebook. I see all your feeds all the time. You're in my algorithm,
Huh.
and I saw the MAGA for Mandami. I was like, I don't know if this is a joke or if he's serious.
Exactly.
But I tell you what, it made me do. It made me look into Mamdani and see what you're seeing in him
Yeah,
and all that. So it opened up that
that's
gate. And
cool.
yeah, so I think that might be a lot of people. What's the positive f feedback been?
Oh, I mean, I think, I mean, a lot of it's funny. A lot of the positives have come from the Democrats because, like you said, the MAGAs were particularly angry, but because the Democrats have really no one to combat Trump, they have no one. They're defenseless. So they're like, this guy. There's like maybe Mandani, like is the guy for the future. So I think that they're really excited. They're really excited about Mandani, and so they've a lot of my interviews have come from left wing outfits, and it's been great. They kind of listen to them, less on the MAGA people, less on anybody from the right wing. But there's people that rise above. There's a lot of people, as you know, rise above the politics, and they just love the idea and they love the comedy of it. There's so much comedy in the the people online. There's a lot of negative people online, but there's even better, funnier people with jokes. Like some of the jokes I actually wrote that I had written down.
Oh,
When
nice.
people had seen this, they're great. It's slugs for salt. Like so, Malcolm from Hindani, the guy wrote slugs for salt. Another one, this is my favorite, was chickens for KFC. So, um, Gazans for Netanyahu, and then the last one was a KKK for African Americans. So there's those things are people just the natural jokes make me laugh, and the ones that I like I write them down. And one guy wrote, I love this: I'm a radical centrist. A radical centrist.
That's great. I think that's the best one. A
Isn't that
radical
great?
centrist. Like I'm
I'm a
really,
rat. He's a radical centrist. This
I'm really
guy.
radical about being in the middle. Yeah,
That was like the funniest thing I ever heard.
that's hilarious, man.
Yep, yep.
So,
So it's been great. So it's been great response that you see. There's so much comedy, and there's so many. Listen, as an entertainer, we love anybody talking about, oh, you were funny, you were this, so you acted well. So this is more like it's the idea that they love so much, and they find interest in that, and that keeps me flowing with it. And meeting so many people online, mostly that love this, and they're following, and it's just exchanging ideas about the future because a lot of people think there are a few people that think that they're like, oh, you're in your 15 minutes of fame. I go, nah, my fame's over when Trump is out of office and
right.
Mandani's out of office. That's a long time for now.
Yeah.
And I almost planned it that way, just so you know. Once it got going, I'm like, well, wait a second, this thing's going to go on and on and on. So
Right.
I need to figure out how to navigate this. In a positive way and in a funny way, because I'm entertaining and boats are going by. Did we
Hey,
catch
all
them?
right, here we
I
go.
hope. Did we get any of them? I just heard them anyway. So I just think that I just think going forward, this is going to be very positive for our country. Way more positive than what it's already done right now. Which I don't think it's been negative. I think it's been very positive. I think Trump realizes that. I think Mamdani will realize that if he doesn't already. He has a harder job. I don't know who's a harder job. Trump's got the hardest job in the world, but man, Johnny's job is to, he's got to be strong for his party, and yet he's got to kind of work with the Republicans in Washington because we're going to need the money.
Yeah,
Going to need
that's the
money.
biggest challenge for him is, wanting to,
Exactly.
with the socialistic, things he wants to do, like you said, free busing and this and that, and put a freeze on the rent and all these things. Some of it is kind of radical that, we've never seen before, like having a socialist mayor for the 5 boroughs. There's already been
Yep.
backlash. Like I think Staten Island wants
Oh, yeah, sorry, Staten Island.
The New York Post, let our people go. Zoran Mamdani victory spurs Staten Island polls to renew bid to pull out of New York City. That's right, my friends. Staten Island wants to secede from the state of New York, from maybe not the state, but the city of New York, because it's a conservative enclave. It's relatively smaller or lower in population density, and they don't want to be in a city of communists.
Oh, it's just like COVID. Staten Island, they're first.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Democrats.
There-
It's the truth.
And but yeah, so he's getting his fair share of pushback too. But you know,
Oh, yeah.
I think the unlikely bond he has with Trump. Well, I'm interested to see where this can go and
Yeah.
how this can. And you might be way ahead of the curve and starting some kind of movement on this like middle ground here.
I think I do believe so, and you know, it's because of all the pump and the support I've gotten. I have had these visions without being delusional that this is the way to the future, is by coming together. Because I've often thought about this actually before these two. Like, why aren't the parties, you know, why, when they're both running for president, like, why don't they just both be president? You know, you give him a week, then give him a week. What's the difference?
Right,
But
right.
the fighting and the angst and the insults, I think, make us less productive and less communicative and just less. I just think that we're less as a country when our politics are more at each other's throats and less. You know, hey, listen, why don't we both kind of run this together and we'll have a happier place. And I feel like that's what could happen with MAGA for Mamdani. That's what I truly believe could happen. Done.
Yeah, and they could lead the way. Imagine that, the two of them lead the way to showcase how it could be done. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's exactly the kind of the vision that I see for them. They are the two best, and they're so talented. They're super talented as leaders, as just leaders and orators to people. And as you can see, both of them, the people go crazy over them. I mean, we
Yeah.
know this. I mean, for better or for worse. But
Right.
on the positive side, but on the positive, you see the effect they have in the positive way on both parties. So great. So what if they could kind of inch closer to each other and inch their people closer to each other? Because they're all of our people. We are
Right.
the same people. But that's the main thing, is like, we're always thinking we're fighting each other. We're not. We're in the
Right.
same country. We're on the same team. Anyway,
Truth.
I don't want to preach too much. I don't want to get too political,
No.
because I'm not political.
That's great.
Because let me tell you, I am not political. Yeah, I don't want to be that. I'm not running for office.
Right. Yeah. I
I'm
want to
trying
say
to make movies. We did. Yeah, go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I was just gonna say,
You wanna say?
like when I saw first with you with the MAGA for Mandami stuff, and then I saw Trump kind of praising Mandami in the White House. It
Yeah.
did. It's almost like in the comedy club, if someone says an off-color joke and you look over and the black people are laughing, then you're like, oh, okay, I guess it's
There
almost
you
like
go.
that, like, oh, I can
Exactly.
like Mandami. Oh,
It's
okay.
been, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And they held the dogs. They didn't release the hounds. They said, all right, pull them back now. It was the weirdest thing, but I definitely did notice it. I'm like, oh my God. And then everyone going, oh my gosh, you picked this, you chose this, you called this. I'm like, but I didn't call it to that degree. But
Right.
I did believe that Mamdani is a superstar, and we already know Trump is a superstar. And I feel like Trump saw that. He's like, let me work with this guy. He's a smart guy. I can work with him. And I truly believe that's why it happened. It's like game recognizing game, and
Yeah,
let's work
true.
together. But that's how I saw those two. And it was obviously a lot better for me too.
Yeah.
They were less attacking. Although there's been some attacks. There's already been some attacks down here, but not too bad. I just don't want to get killed. You know, for what?
Yeah.
For what? Because I'm putting together these guys. I'm trying to make the country better. There's
Yeah.
a woman up in Delray here. She started talking about Muslims, and I had the problem was I had a couple drinks, and she started saying how Muslims are going to destroy the city and they're 9/11, and it just was so ignorant to me. And I just called her a couple names. Names is in like just ignorant and those kind of things. But it was like that was the only time some woman going nuts on Mamdani. I'm like, what? Like,
It's
we're in
always
a
the
bar.
women
Like,
these days. The women.
I'm telling you, the men are pretty chill when they have these arguments. The women, they want to fly out. And then when I insulted her, I think she kind of liked it. I'm like, this is what's so gross about our country today. I didn't want to lose my cool there because I'm MAGA for Mamdani. I'm trying to bring people together.
Right.
But the booze shot me off, and she said some kind of racy things, which people have said online about Muslims and about, just mostly about Muslims, that I don't believe in, and I think is racist thinking, whatever you want to call it, and it's more fear thinking in my mind. And so I just called her out on it, but it was just, I didn't mean to do it in a negative, in that way that people are doing online that get all these hits all the time. That's
Right.
not how I want to. You know,
No,
put
yeah, you
myself. But in all fairness, she deserved it.
right.
But at the end of the day,
And you're keeping it positive, like you said. You know, you're trying to kind of lead
always
by example on
and
this, that
light.
we all can get along type of
Yep,
thing, which I think is
it's
cool.
got to. You got to, man. It's stupid to do. Look at there's so many people with you make a choice. You can do a negative. There's a lot of negative comedians out there with ugly way of just totally separating and being like, fuck those people. And then there's people like me trying to say, let's not even talk politics really, which is what I really don't want to do.
Right.
And I really hate how the stand up has become very, very much so. And even the hosts have become so political. Both parties, right or left. I think
It
it's
is
been
bad,
really
yeah.
bad. I think it's been really bad for the arts, and it really separates people. I don't want that ever.
Yeah, and it gets confusing now with all this going on, where you see people that you like, you know, whether they're entertainers or actors or whatever,
Yep.
and they're taking political stances, and it makes you wonder who are the good guys and the bad guys, and are there good
Yeah.
guys and bad guys, and
Yeah.
what's
That's
like
great.
it's so confusing these days.
That's very true. No, it's very, very confusing. Like you said, it's once they step out and make that political claim, and you realize they're not being funny right there. They're actually being political. I don't know what it makes you do, but it's not part of the entertainment. That's meant for the political world, for political people to be talking to each other, not for entertainers to be talking. That being said, and listen, I'm a right wing. I'm a Republican. I when Sean Penn talks, I think it's good. I think it's good to express yourself, you know, and I think it's good when he does it. A lot of the stuff, you know, because he's an American, and I don't care if actors want to talk about, you know, their beliefs. They're an American. They pay taxes here. They care about their country. I don't mind it so much, but when it's too much, there is a slippery slope. There is a degree where it's like, hey, look, say your piece, and then get off your stump, and get back to doing what you do,
Right. Yeah.
or else run for office and be that guy.
Right, because then you see people fall off too, like, you know, where they forget, people forget what they're known for, and they just look at them at the politics. Like De Niro
Yeah.
is like a case
De
like
Niro
that.
was a big. Oh yeah, no, he was a big one. And I don't know if I don't know if you know Jason Scoop, but he's an impersonator,
Yeah, I love
Trump
Scoop.
impersonator.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I filmed most of his stuff, and I filmed the one where he went after De Niro.
Bobby, it's your favorite president. I forgive you, Bobby, for being such a loser about the election.
Oh, you put
I'm
that's
the guy that
classic.
filmed it. I filmed it. I filmed him going after De Niro, and I'm going to tell you that it was the most bizarre thing watching my hero, Robert De Niro,
Yeah.
and loving that Scoop was ripping him apart.
Right.
At the same time, I'm like, I can't believe the only time I see De Niro is with one of my Trump impersonator is ripping him to shreds for losing to Trump. And I'm like, this is so bizarre. It was the weirdest thing.
Bobby, your favorite president won. Kamala lost. She lost so strongly. You were wrong. You're a loser. You're a total loser. This show sucks. You're going to get low ratings, Bobby. You're going to get low ratings. Look at that. From raging bull to raging nobody. Such a disgrace.
But, you know, but again, but at the same time, I was like, he kind of deserves it the way he went after Trump.
And Scoop was relentless. He's fearless.
Oh, he's fearless. He's fearless.
What does he think about your movement?
You know, he doesn't talk about it.
Really?
He doesn't even talk about it. Like it doesn't exist.
Wow.
It's
Even
hilarious.
if you come in wearing all the gear, he won't mention it?
He's not made any mention of it. He sent me some videos like showing that I've been, some people have found me and posted me, but it's never like, great job on this. Never anything like that, which is fat. Well, because you know where his alignment is.
Right, yeah.
He doesn't like one of these guys.
I'm waiting for him to find Mamdani in the street. And go, yeah.
I know. I want to see his Mamdani tattoo. He's got a Trump tattoo.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I did see that Mamdani knows about you, and he's mentioned you in interviews.
We had someone come to our Forest Hills rally with a hat that said MAGA Mamdani. You know what I mean?
I literally, that's one of those moments where I was like, is this AI or not? Because you never know these days, but he's real, right? Yeah, he is.
This is real.
5 times. He definitely used me in that way. And I'm more than happy because that helped me as well. But he loved it. Oh my God. He's like, did you see the guy with the MAGA for Mamdani? Did you see the guy with the MAGA for, oh, there was a guy with the MAGA for Mamdani. Couldn't stop talking about it. I'm like, where's my invite to the table?
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't brought you on. Like,
Give me a job. I can be the correspondent for Republicans. Let me be the
Yeah.
liaison. I'll calm them down. I'll
Yeah.
bring them to you. But anyway, I was supposed to meet him about 2 weeks ago in an interview with this group called the A More Perfect Union in Staten Island because they wanted to bring the MAGA for Mandanis to Staten Island. I was like, oh my God, I got to go to Staten Island for this interview.
There you might need a vest or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's when they were the snipers are going to be out. But maybe Mamdani saved me because the night before he had to cancel last minute. So I never got to meet him.
Right,
So
yeah.
it'd be great to meet him. But yes, he does speak about me. It's incredible. And he even watched one of my videos because I knew he watched one of my videos, my music parodies, because he goes, and did you see when he made a hand gesture like playing the guitar? I'm like, oh my God, he's watching my guitar videos of my parodies. That's hilarious.
While you're on MSNBC, that there was MAGA for Mamdani.
Yes.
Okay, so
Did you see his song that he made recently?
I interviewed the guy.
Oh my goodness.
MAGA.
How many shirts does he have?
He sells those T-shirts.
He sells them?
My fiance and I both interviewed the guy. He's not kidding. He is very much in love with Trump. He's very much in love with you.
I might have
he
to
is
get
so
one of these
excited.
shirts.
You're gonna get a mag. Do you want a MAGA for Mamdani shirt?
Just for posterity.
That's great.
It was cool.
And Mamdani knows about music. He's got a rap career. Are you a fan of any of his rap music?
I kind of rap has been, I'm 55, but I used to love rap music, and I watched some of his rap. I'm like, this guy's great. He's great at doing rap. He's a great entertainer. He knows how to entertain. So that's why he was like far head and shoulders above all the entertaining people.
Celebrating just kind of time. So I leave my work on like Shakira. I so why call me a muleta.
Yeah, man, that's what him and Trump have in
was an
common.
entertainer.
Yeah, exactly.
And Trump's an entertainer too. They have all that experience about being in front of people. They're total peace. And they could be, Trump will be goofy. He could be rappy, and even he could be goofy. He does a lot of goofy stuff, man. Donnie does. I'm wanting to do a video with him. I just, we'll see. I got to get him a shirt and a hat.
You got to send them both.
A shirt and a hat.
Both camps. You got to send both camps the hat.
Well, I'm thinking Trump comes to the city and Mamdani and we all meet. The three of us meet, and I give him the shirts and the hats, and we'll just, we'll go around on a double-decker bus, and we'll take in to get ice cream. Three of us.
That'll be awesome.
Wouldn't that be great?
That'll be awesome, man.
It'll be fun.
I have a list of like the two, a comparison of what the two of them, and they're so opposites on so many ways. But like you said, what brings them together is that they're great speakers. They're both kind of have a charisma and a likability that you can't manufacture, and they're both unapologetic of who they are.
Exactly. You feel it's like you don't really see a politician in them. You don't see them. You see kind of regular guys, with talent, charming. You see like charming guys. I know you say that if there's a man Don, if you're like charming, Trump's charming, but yeah, but there's a charm. There's a charm to both of them that they have on people.
Yeah, and I'll just go through their differences real quick.
Yeah, please.
So
because I don't know. I need to know what they are.
So this is the basics here. So Trump's a right-wing populist, America First. Zoran is a democratic socialist. Trump's economic vision is pro-business, deregulation, and tax cuts. Mamdani's is redistribution, public investments. On taxes, Trump wants to lower taxes and opposes wealth tax, where Mamdani wants higher taxes on the wealthy and a wealth tax. Healthcare, he wants private insurance. Trump wants private insurance and opposes Medicare for all. And of course, we know that Mamdani wants universal healthcare for all. Housing, Trump wants market-driven anti-rent control. And then Mamdani wants rent stabilization in public housing. On immigration, Trump is strict enforcement, border walls, and ICE and all that. And then Mamdani, immigrant protections and pathway to citizenship. And then for law and order, policing and justice, Trump wants, he's pro-police funding, where Mamdani reduced police funding. And then labor wages is limited union support, employee focused is Trump's, and then strong unions, higher minimum wage from Mamdani. And that's just a few of the differences.
Right.
But
that's amazing. That was a lot of differences, and also right on point with exactly what their differences and how they believe, to make a better country. And it's funny, I always say this, I go, the problem with the political parties is they're both right. They're both right.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, we need that, but we also need that. And then we need that. Yeah, but we also need it. Yeah, you're right. You're both right. We need all of this shit. Because that's what I always say about politics.
That's totally
right.
true.
You're both right. You're both right. That's
And
the one thing we could say. What's
yeah.
that? Oh, shit. Yeah, sorry.
And that's the biggest problem. The biggest
I know,
problem is
man.
that
That's
they're
the
both
biggest
right.
problem.
They're both right, and we're forced to choose a team.
Exactly. You said it. And that's what this is to this kind of debunks that. He goes, you don't have to choose a team. You got to understand that we need them. We need both. We need both. How we get to that, that's where the mystery is. But you do need both. They're both right. Don, I think that's what we got out of this conversation.
Yep.
That they're both right.
They're
MAGA
both
for
right.
MAMDANI.
That's right. And that's being a what were you calling it? A radical middle.
Radical centrist. I'm a radical centrist.
Dude, you got to start a
Number
radical
one
centrist
radical.
party.
I'm the most. That's what this. That's great. So we'll go. That's it. The radical centrist party.
And it'd be MAGA for Mamdani.
There's other stuff like a MAGA for Mamdani, the radical centrist party. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. And listen, I'm doing a movie. We did it. We shot a short film that's actually, hopefully an episodic about this guy. It's basically my story, but how, it's a little fictitious of how he had this change of mind, but then changes from MAGA for Mamdani. And so we had that film, and then I'm also going to do a musical too. MAGA for Mamdani, the musical. So this ain't going. So we got to keep doing these interviews.
Yeah,
because you're such a good guy. You're just easy going and you're a smart
you're the
guy.
best, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
We got to get you when you come back to New York. We got to get you come into Govs. We'll get you, in the studio with us and really go all out.
That would be great. We got to bring Scoop too because he's out there too. We'll bring him in.
Definitely Scoop. Yeah,
and maybe Jackie Marling too.
Yeah,
Jackie's up there. I don't know. I don't even. He did come out. He's like, he looked at the hat. He's like, I don't get it.
Well, a lot of people aren't gonna get it at first.
Nobody gets it.
But I think I actually really like what you're doing because it opens up a lot of things. It opens up conversation. It also makes you look, because you're like, I love Ron, and if he sees something in both of these guys, then maybe it's worth exploring. Maybe I could see something in both of them too. And also, the third thing is, in the negative world that we're in, this is a positive, to me, it's a positive light that you're kind of representing both of these parties that are like, at each other's throats most of the time.
At each other's throats and so opposite. Right. Now I appreciate everything you said there, man. It's really nice to hear, especially that you go do a little more diving into, and that goes for everybody, to the other person. You'd be surprised at how similar we all are as people. We all we want kind of the same things in life. So it's not as, media is a big creates this fiction, this fantasy, when a lot of times when you're just in the room with everybody, we're all kind of the same, regardless of our backgrounds, our parties.
Exactly. And I think the social media, the algorithms is what's really messing people up because you get fed your one perspective and you live in your own little bubble. And then, you see the other side as not your neighbor anymore, your enemy, like straight up enemy. Hey, there we go. Production value.
We got it right there. We got a free visual. And cue the boat.
I'm gonna have that Miami Vice music going.
Yeah, definitely got to do that. No, I mean, just what you were saying. It's like, I remember I was at a Thanksgiving party, and this woman who I've always been at their house, she was like, "Do you know what you've done?" Like, I did this. I did this.
You're responsible for him.
Yeah. I was like, I did it. I wish I had this power that you're speaking of. I'll do other things if I had that kind of power. But I do think as time goes on, I believe this from the start. Number one, I think New York is going to be the best it's ever been because of the talented guy that he is, regardless of the things that he tries to do in the policies. I feel like he's going to be an inspiration for people. And I feel like the people are going to get closer and not further away. Contrary to opinion, I do feel like we're going to strengthen and not weaken. And again, that comes from hope and a psychological belief that you've got to stay positive in all this. We have an incredible country. We have incredible gifts as people. We're very lucky. And we need to identify that first and be grateful for that first. And then reach out to the people in your neighbor and try to work with them through their hardships and them helping you through your hardships. And we kind of work together. I feel like this is going to be this is what's going to happen in our country. I do believe that is going to happen. I don't think it's going to get worse, but I do feel like you need this thing, this MAGA for Mamdani, for it to happen, because if not, then we're going to stay separate. Mamdani's going to stay separate from Trump. Trump's going to stay separate. If they come together, I think, just like I said, they left me alone. They'll be more like, they'll go from leaving me alone to being like, hey, I really like that Mamdani. He was really cool. They will get to that level. It will get to that next thing. And the Mamdanis will be like, I really like Trump. If Trump behaves in the right way as well. These things need to happen from both leaders. So they're the ones that want this job, this hard job, this unbelievably hard job. But now let's see if they can carry it and make our country better. I think they can. We'll see.
Well said. Well said. And yeah, I think if it's the ball is in Mamdani's court right now, he has to deliver the goods. I think the more successful he is, and the better New York becomes, the more people will start to rally behind him, believe in him, and and all that kind of stuff. But it's good to see you're ahead of the curve. And I know you said you're working on that film. Yeah, I thought it was a documentary, but is it documentary style? Is it like scripted?
It's like the writer who lives on Long Island is a director. He directed me in a couple of plays. He wrote something about a long time ago to get into politics. He wrote it for my character. We never shot it. So then finally this happened online. And I said, Paul, his name's Paul Navarra. I said, Paul, if you're ever going to write a script about politics and me, it's right now. So he went. I told him the story I kind of told you about how it all happened from beginning to where we were. And he kind of just filled in the gaps and created just a little bit of fiction with it as well. And he really created a really fun, interesting first episode of this guy who makes this transition in New York. And now he's seen the light. Mamdani is the light. And so then now I'm being watched by CIA operatives. I'm thinking about we throw in some Russian operatives maybe as well later. And just like maybe this guy going through how one voter changed the face of the country or the human history is what I said as a joke. How one voter changed the course of human history. That's a good epic start of a show. It could be, and so that's going to be a show that we're going to pitch. It's just an episodic. Right now it's an episodic. We'll see about the movie. Who knows? But right now it's just we got a nice episodic that we shot. It's getting edited right now. And then the musical was forthcoming. I would say in a few months we'll have that ready and see how that goes. That's going to be fun and funny. Obviously there's so many jokes you can do with this stuff, man. It's politics. Man. So you could talk about everything from healthcare to immigration to poverty to wealth to the rich and the poor and crypto. It's all encompassed in
everything because you opened it up to both sides.
That's the beauty of this. That's what people don't realize. I open it up to everything. It's infinity. This thing is infinity. It's infinity and beyond. It's just so we got to make these things hit. And listen, we're gonna make this could be great for art. Could be great for music, for everything. Really, I really do believe artistically this is going to be so much fun. It's a lot more fun than grinding and stand up and acting. I'll tell you that much. I'm having a better time. Although I love acting. I'm acting in something this Sunday, my first thing in Miami.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we got another one. It's a small one.
Hey,
there he goes.
Nice. Flying by.
He's a little one. He's flying. But yeah. So acting, and I'll always love acting and film and music. But this is kind of a nice side thing that I'm trying to integrate with it with the arts. We'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of like what's his name, Hunter? Thompson. Where you're kind of living, you're living the movie.
Ski-Doo. There's a Ski-Doo right there.
Just nice.
Yeah. Is that what he did? Was that Fear and Loathing?
Yeah, like he would go out to do a story, and then the Gonzo journalism is kind of like Gonzo filmmaking, where you're like living it out,
and then film it, and then document it, like you're saying. Like it is partial documentary, even though this episodic, because it's weird. It's like, they created a show that actually did happen. This actually did happen. And that's what makes it funny too. All of a sudden the guy who's running for mayor is talking about you on television. You're like, what? That happens? That really did happen? Yeah, that actually happened. I can't believe it happened myself.
You are one voter making a difference.
One voter changed the course of human history.
Yes, indeed.
We'll see, Don.
Dude. You're the man, Ron.
Thanks, Don.
You're
Thanks
the
so
best,
much, buddy.
I wish you all the
Oh,
best for
man.
everything. Definitely
Don,
come
so
out
good.
when you back
Oh,
in New York.
when I'm
Let us
back.
know. We'd
When
love
I'm
to
back.
get you on there. We'll
I'll
get
come.
you. We'll
Dude,
get
I would
Jason
love.
in there. Tony
That'd be
Walker. We'll
that'd
bring
be fun.
Jackie.
Yeah, Tony Walker. I miss that guy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, tell him I said hello. Miss that
Definitely,
guy.
definitely.
Cool. I would love that. I'd love that.
Well, tell everybody before you go where they can get some gear,
Okay.
man. The MAGA
Yeah.
for Mamdani
So
gear.
if you go for MAGA for Mamdani, just go MAGA for Mamdani. I think it's the number 4. I can't remember now. It's not like we've sold a ton, but we do have stuff on there. So we have pens. I got keychains, hats and shirts. We're going to be making like bikinis this summer. We're going to try to do everything we can. But yeah, so just go to MAGA for Mamdani website and you can buy stuff there. You know?
Man. Everybody's got to go get some stuff.
Yeah,
we got to represent.
So MAGA for Mamdani, and then and then Ron Barba won my Instagram. That's really the only place. I mean, I have a Twitter, which is funny because a lot of the stuff on Twitter has had millions and millions of views. But I'm not a big Twitter guy. I'm more of Instagram. I'm more of a visual. Because I'm a filmmaker, I love film. So Instagram is Ron Barba 1, RONBARBA 1.
Okay, cool.
And it's the creator of MAGA for Mamdani.
There you go. You're starting a whole new.
All these years, and this is what it was. I didn't even know. Thank you, Mamdani. Thank you, Donald Trump. There we go. Got another one. Yeah,
nice. Right on cue.
There we go, Florida.
All right, brother. Well, thanks so much, Ron. You're the best, man. Thanks for taking the time. Enjoy the weather.
Thank you for having me on the show, buddy.
Thank you, my friend.
We'll
Take care.
Talk soon. All right. Take care now.
Sir. Take
care.
Bye,
buddy.
Ron Barba, everybody.